Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we've been, this is our third time trying to do this video. We nailed it the first time, but we were out of focus.
Have you checked that we're in focus this time?
Yeah, it's on autofocus, so it should hopefully, it was focused on your head before when I turned it on, so.
Where have we been?
We've been busy.
So busy.
We sort of left YouTube videos at a bit of a point where I had a little fall at Hammersley Gorge. Sort of.
It got too much.
Yeah.
So that got put to the.
Yeah. So that's nearly 2 years ago now. that fall happened. So.
It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy. So basically, yeah, we've still been doing little bits and pieces here and there, but our filming has been very sporadic, and so we haven't really had a heap of.
Well, we've kind of tried, haven't we?
Yeah, we haven't really had a heap of
Really.
solid footage to put something together. So, yeah, we kind of gone off on a tangent here, but
As suspected.
bit off. So pretty well, we left Carragini. We were starting to head down the coast. We pulled up in Karratha for a few days and watched the AFL Grand Final. Mm-hmm. And
it was also school holidays around that time too.
That's
so
right. Yeah. So we were trying to dodge the caravan parks and the crowds for making our way down to Exmouth. But yeah, so we we slowly worked our way down, and my leg sort of gradually got worse. So we left Karratha, and we went out to Dampier to have a look at the Red Dog statue, and then we were kicking the footy on the oval there. And I was literally just thinking I'm about ready to go back to jogging and fitness stuff and that, and we were kicking the footy on the oval, and that night my leg pulled up real sore.
Which was the first time it had done that,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yep. And we basically come back into Karratha the next day. We made a doctor's appointment and got it seen to, and basically said there was an infection in there, and by that stage it had become a bit red and a bit swollen. So we got some ointment and some antibiotics, and we started on that, and then we slowly made our way to towards Exmouth, but we stopped at the there's a free camp on the road to Onslow. We stopped there, and basically I was driving in and out of the hospital because it got a bit worse, and we were on IV antibiotics there, and they wanted to admit me, but these guys were still on the side of the road at a free camp, so I didn't really want to leave them overnight.
We could have.
You could have, but
in hindsight, we probably should have taken the van in, because there was one night in particular I remember where me and the kids were in the car. I think we watched 2 movies, possibly even 3.
It was a late one.
It was a late one. We all fell asleep in the car. I think I had Blair on my lap. We couldn't come into the hospital, go to the toilet, so I was like...
Well, it was. I
Bushwheeze.
think that was the first night when I first checked in, because they were going back and forth to the doctors and whatnot.
Because there's no doctors at Onslow, so they had to send photos.
And I think I started on IV antibiotics, and they wanted to. I think I had fluids as well and everything. So yeah. I had a whole range of stuff that first night. Yeah. But then basically once we sort of. We told them what our plan was. We were heading towards Exmouth, and we were slowly making our way there to dodge all the crowds during the school holidays. I think we'd mentioned that.
I don't know. It was school holidays around that time.
We basically told them what our plan was, and they said, when you get to Exmouth, you need to present to the hospital. So at the same time as us moving down the coast towards Exmouth, my parents were actually had come over from South Australia, and they'd done a bit of travelling down the bottom end, and then they come up and met us in Exmouth, and they're going to surprise the kids.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. That was a really cool thing that we got to do for the kids, and I'll put that footage in there now. That was pretty cool. I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat. We'll come back and have a look.
That's great room here. Yeah. I want to you get that ready.
Oh, yeah.
Get home. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, seriously. I told you there was another surprise.
Hey,
How'd you get here so fast?
we've been travelling for a while. Right.
They got here really fast.
I think they made some stories up, Macy.
You were not looking after Benji yesterday.
But then basically, yeah, once we got through all the hellos, we went back to the caravan park and then went straight to the hospital, and pretty well.
You didn't leave.
Yeah, got admitted that afternoon and didn't leave.
Because I think your mum knew roughly what had happened, so she was kind of a little bit eager to see your leg because she's worked in pharmacy before, and so she's got a really good idea just with different things. And when we went to the hospital, because we left the kids with them, she was like, I think you need to take your toothbrush.
Yeah, she did.
she?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, so I took my toothbrush. And,
I don't think you took much else.
My
Maybe
deodorant, and that's about it. Yeah.
Change your underwear, maybe.
Yeah, pretty well. And then when we got in there, the nurses and everything were really good there. What did you call it? The triage nurse.
The triage nurse, yeah. She's lovely.
She was excellent. And basically, as soon as she seen my leg, she now. Before I go any further,
this is where it gets gross.
I will mention that it does. I won't show any photos or anything like that, any bad photos, but just talking about it, it's pretty gross. So, fair warning. So basically, I've said basically a lot. So when she seen it, she basically did it again. She looked at my scab on my leg and said, "That thing is coming off."
Because it was weeping. It
had gone downhill quite a bit. So she ripped it off.
Much to her enjoyment too. Apparently every nurse has a thing that they can't handle. This was not her thing.
Yeah.
She can't handle. Because she was eager to get that.
And when they removed the scab, it revealed basically a 20 cent...
Basically?
a 20 cent piece. About 20 cent piece hole.
Yeah.
And it was straight through
like 20 cent as in diameter.
Diameter of the,
depth was
all pretty well all the way to my leg.
Well, it was because the measuring tool could tap your body. Ding, ding, ding. I just remember that sitting. I couldn't watch, and I was sitting in the corner like this, and you were next to me, and I could hear them like tapping on your bone. Yeah,
and I couldn't feel anything. So I think that was what the alarm bells were, because they were poking it.
My heart rate go fast.
Yeah, they were poking and prodding in my leg, and I couldn't feel anything. So. They pretty well made the decision then that I'll be flying to Perth to get some specialist help. Yeah, so that was on the Sunday that we checked in there. Or I checked. I was admitted, didn't check in.
Like a holiday stay.
Yeah. Got admitted Sunday afternoon and then stayed there all day Monday. Then Tuesday morning we flew out to Perth. Stayed in a hotel Tuesday night, and then Wednesday went straight to the hospital.
And at this stage, it was still all like they said that this was what they were expecting, but that was not a confirmed, like, this is what's going to happen when you get down to Perth. That was wait and see when you got to the doctors.
Yeah.
Because meanwhile, me, the kids, the dog, and Ty's mum and dad were still in Exmouth because we weren't all going to fly. And so we were just kind of waiting until you knew, because then we could make a decision, because we didn't, like, do we wait? Do we go? Do we...
Should I stay or should I go? Yeah, pretty well. So, yeah. So Wednesday morning I went in and seen the nurses there, and they had a training nurse in there, and I'd actually had gauze put in, 2.5 metres worth of gauze put in my hole. My hole before I left. And
Was it
then
2.5 metres?
Yeah, when they were pulling it out, the training nurse had to leave the room, so that's how gross
That
it was.
her one thing.
Yeah.
She worked out what her thing was.
Yeah, straight away. Yeah. And then...
You should have said you're welcome.
Yeah, if now you know. So that afternoon I had my first surgery, where they basically cut out all the gunk, but pretty well. I nearly said it again. Cut out all the gunk, and then they had fitted me with a suction pump that was... I had this handbag thing with a big long line attached to it that was constantly sucking the gunk out of my leg. So then that was all day Thursday, and then Friday I was booked in for another surgery, and I was meant to have 3 surgeries. They were going to clean it out twice, and then the third one was purely to close the wound. And then when I was under on the second surgery, the plastic surgeons were in the room, and they had a look at my leg and were really happy with it, so they closed it all up, and they did what's called a flap procedure, where they cut one side of it. Well, they cut both sides and they stitch one side and then pull it across. So it's they didn't pull skin from anywhere. I didn't have a skin graft or anything like that. It was just the skin that was on my leg. But yeah, it was just stretched it and whatnot.
Yep. But when the doctors were in surgery for this second one on the Friday, we had been told that there was a possibility that the infection had made its way into the bone, because if you'd have fractured your bone when you fell and the infection had made its way into the bone, there was a high chance that his leg would have been chopped off. So
that was scary talk. That was so.
I got a phone call, because at this stage we had said we just need to go down to Perth, because regardless of what happens, we didn't want you to be by yourself. So me and the kids and the dog were in Paddy with the van, and I drove Paddy, and Ty's mum and dad had a rental car that they had got in preparation for the 2 weeks. Little did they know the 2 weeks would be spent
chasing me around.
Chasing you around, looking at the inside of all Perth's medical centres. We just decided that we were going to go. So I got the phone call on the Friday while he was in surgery to say, as next of kin, I needed to give permission for them to make an incision. We hadn't been told that his bone was healthy yet, and I had to give permission to make an incision, but we didn't know. So I said this to the doctor or the surgeon or whoever she was that I spoke to on the phone, and she did a quick check and she said, the bone's healthy, we don't need to make the incision to amputate. The incision is to close it up. So, yep, you do what you need to do.
It was probably for the flap procedure.
Well, I think it was, but they didn't, because they couldn't talk to you before you went in, and that wasn't the plan when you went in.
Yeah, that's right.
They had to get permission to do that. So, but the second phone call was as I was driving into Perth, and that was the one to say that you'd come out of surgery and that you were in recovery and everything had gone okay. So, yeah. That
So,
was
yeah.
also another big phone call while I was trying to navigate 4 lanes of bloody Perth traffic. That was fun.
So yeah, that was pretty well it. And then we stayed in Perth for a bit. We bounced around some Airbnbs, and then just until I got my leg sort of half mobile, and the Perth Medical Centre, like the WA health system was really good, because we wanted to go home at one stage. We were like, can we just go? Can we just punch it home? And they were like, nah. We still want to see you. We still want to make sure that it's all good. And they could have quite easily just said, "Yeah, you're South Australia's problem now." So, see you later. But they wanted us to stick around and see them and make sure that everything was on the right path. So that was good. So pretty well, by the time I got to a point where I was starting to get my stitches out of my leg, they took half of them out in Perth, and they said you can go. We're happy with how it's all progressing. And then we sort of made our way down a little bit and did a little bit of like Bustleton and
A little bit of Esperance, but you weren't really.
I wasn't mobile, so we pretty well went to the breweries, and that was about it. And then we just made the decision to punch it home, and we got home in 3 days, I think it was, and back to
Something just made a noise.
No, that's a device somewhere. I've heard that noise before.
Oh.
And then we punched it home, and we got home early mid-November 2024.
Yeah, there was still 5 or 6 weeks maybe left of school, and so we gave the kids the choice and said if they did want to like keep doing stuff from home, that we could do that, but they wanted to go back to school, so they did that, which was unexpected because we weren't even supposed to be back for school at all. So they went back to school, and
because they were on a travel exemption, they were able to go back pretty easily, so that worked out well.
My boss was really good. My principal, she was really understanding when everything was happening. I kind of kept her in the loop because I think she'd randomly touched base and said, how's everything going? And I said, actually, this is where we're at. So she said, keep me updated on what's going on. So when I come back, she, because I was on long service leave, so and then leave without pay, so she just cancelled that last little bit of leave, and I went back to work. So she was very good, really good, really supportive with that. So very, very lucky, very thankful.
So that's.
You still got your leg?
Still got my leg. Yeah, I've got a wicked scar on it. I call it my shark bite. It sounds heaps cooler than I've got an infection. But so still mobile, still able to do everything.
It does swell up every now and then.
It does swell up a bit. But I can still run. I can still. So that's basically it. That's the story of my leg.
Yeah, everything got abruptly stopped.
Yeah.
that doesn't even make sense. Everything come to an abrupt stop.
I really didn't feel like making videos after all that. The only video I really did make was the Kowtowie one, but that was because I really enjoyed that, and it's such a cool festival and atmosphere, and it was our first one, so I really wanted to do my little bit. Like, we don't have a huge following on YouTube, but I wanted to do my little bit and spread the word about that amazing festival. So and we went back again this year, and we're probably going to go again next year. Yeah, because it was bloody good fun. So that's about it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll probably next week we'll talk about what we're up to now and going forward, which is coming up really fast. Like we've been flat out with plans, so stay tuned for that, and
chaos and mess.
Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye bye.